You know, to see today's youth just so into these people, you know, that just certain people, you know, and and it's almost idolization, you know. You know, you're not supposed to idolize anybody, you know. You're supposed to have one God, you know. And rock and roll was my first love. That's an honest truth, and it got me lost. I was lost for a very long time, and you know, I was saved, but I was lost. You know, I went to church because I had to go to church, you know, and I've been feeling something tugging at my heart, saying, you're here to write music, you're here to perform music, you're here to touch other people's lives, you know. But I can't do that if I'm contributing to the rock and roll, and contributing, you know, to all that stuff, and taking participation in all the other stuff that has to take place to be a rock star. And it just won't work that way. So, you know, I have made a current change in direction of what I want to be doing, you know, in my life, you know, and it's going to be, you know, Christian music. And so that's something that's really been pulling at my heart. So yes, I do believe God's put me on this earth to really write Christian music and lyrics that actually mean something they're going to touch and hear. You touch people's lives and change their lives. You know, I think one of the strongest songs that I've heard. So, you know, if I had to pick top three strongest songs that I've ever heard so far, one would be 10th Avenue North. They're sort of a newer band that I've heard of, and I like to listen to that song they've got, You're More. Well, it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how low you go, how the bottom of bottles you get. You're more than just a person who gets that low. God will take care of you. God will bring you back. You know. And then another one I like to hear is Chris Rice sings the Untitled Hymn, and that song was sung at my graduation ceremony at church, and it's just a beautiful song, and it's like it starts from when you were born to when you're and you're going through life, and then like the final lyrics are talking about when you're dying, and then flying with Jesus, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just a beautiful song, and that I enjoy. And you know, and another song that I like to listen to is would be "The Grace Like Grace." You know, the one that you heard on YouTube. You know, it's just. You know, Amazing Grace is one of everybody's favorites, favorite hymns and stuff like that. But you know, to hear it, you know, made into a contemporary song, it's just a beautiful song, you know, and stuff like that. So that's what music has done for me so far. But music is my life. Music has always been my life. You know, it's my getaway. I love to get. It's just a great way to express yourself. But the way, you know, from my experience, I'm 21 years old. I'll be 22 next year. I can tell you right now, to kids and everybody out there, that it's okay to live your dream. You want to live your dream. If you're a musician, live your dream. Because I'm pretty sure God has put you on this earth to play. The thing that I want everybody to understand is, you know, God put you here for a reason. You know, you can be an entertainer, but you know, do it for the right reasons.
Do you have a defined type as far as your music goes?
That's a good question. I don't have a certain type yet. Now, I've had things where I've had bands and I've had certain things I've grown up listening to over the years. That I've really wanted to really pull off. I think everybody that knows me, you know, knows that I'm a Gene Simmons fanatic, but that's nothing what I want to do in life, you know. I love the band Kiss. They're great, and I respect them for what they did in music, but you know, they had their life and they had their run, you know, and they're still going, but if I had anything I wanted to do in my style of music, I've always enjoyed listening to Queen, and I've always enjoyed listening to, strings and instruments like that. I went to see Jars of Clay for my birthday here at JA. I like Jars of Clay, they're a great band, but honestly I saw someone there that opened for Jars of Clay that I thought was better than Jars of Clay, and it was, well, it appealed to me better. I won't say they were better, because they were all very good. His name's Matt Marr, and he just had some good lyrics, good sound, and it wasn't all put together. It wasn't all just slapped together. Music takes thought, takes time, and especially Christian music, because Christian music is all about writing about life experiences, writing about what your heart. What is your heart like? Because anybody could sit there and write anything about praise Jesus, woohoo, hallelujah, and then get it published and put it on the radio. Anybody can do that, You're just not going to have the success. What makes the success roll is, listening to other people's stories, listening to, your life experiences, your what hurts, and just, giving it to God and letting God mold the music, because God will put those words on paper for you, and people will listen, and people will, and you're not the only one who's had those problems, people have gone through bad breakups, and I went through one myself, and I understand, I see, I wrote songs, and I just put it on paper until it perfected it, and I've got songs, that are really good, that, it was not written by me, that was God given, God helped me write that, so, God, if I had any kind of style of music that I wanted to do, it would probably include a piano. It would include a piano, cello, violins, of course, guitars, electric guitars, drums, synth. But that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work putting that stuff together. But but that would be very harmonics in the singing and stuff. If I had to tell you if I sounded like anybody, I would sound like Third Day's lead singer. I've got that deep, more of a bass song, bass Southern sound. But I try to train my voice to sound more classical, more with a lot of vibrato and stuff like that. So that's what I would really love to, do, musically wise. But I also want to my style of music. That would be what would be style. But the thing I want to give Christian music that Christian music doesn't really have is a show. Because I believe that we have great Christian music, we have great contemporary bands that have great songs, but what draws the youth and what draws today's generation to rock and roll? The show, the people who act cool, because they look cool. So I feel that God's put a drive into me to create something for people our age, people, and it's not just our age, for kids, kids coming up, past generations to look at, and have that feel comfortable to send their kids to these concerts and say, and because these kids can feel, they can express themselves, they can, and come to a show that's got, crazy lights and, laser light shows and smoke and fog and, and all kinds of crazy stuff going on, so I want that to be available to kids, but I also, past year I've been working on a thing called the Live Your Dream Project, and it's for kids, who are less fortunate, kids these days, there's a lot of kids in nursing, not nursing homes, but hospitals, with disabilities, kids in foster homes, and stuff, and it's a sad situation, like I said, and I just want kids to, I don't want kids to feel like they're at a disadvantage. I want them to feel like they should be able to go out and chase their dream just like I have, I'm nobody different. I'm no different than you or anybody, sitting beside me. And I want people to understand, if you are blessed, be humble. Don't be standoffish. Don't be like, you owe me something. No. I live that lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle that's just not, it's not fun, it's not healthy. So, and God will honor that. God put us on this earth to, love, and, enjoy each other's company, to witness, and to use our talents for the glory of the Lord. So, that's what I would ask of people, but the Live Your Dream Project is for kids, kids and adults and teenagers, who have less fortunate lives, and I really want them to, see what I'm doing, and then, but I want to be encouraging, for them to not be afraid, or not be able to step out, not to be afraid to step outside the box. Really go out there and do what you love to do. If you're a poet, write poems. If you're a writer, don't be afraid to write. Don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't do. If you let someone sit there and tell you, no, you're not good at that, that could be that one thing God put you on this earth to do. It's your life.
Yeah.
You do what you want to do with it. God put you here for a reason, and God will love you for whatever you do. And that's what I want. That's the main message I want people to understand. And I've never really got the publicity, or never really got the chance to tell people, okay, look, this is what you got to do. This is what God's here for. This is why, God's real. And I can't stress that enough. He is real. There's all these agnostics and atheists out there saying, well, what if God doesn't exist? What are you going to do? I'm sorry. There's too many close calls I've had that I should have been, wiped out. I should have been dead a long time ago. But thanks to me being blessed with good parents, and going to a great church family and stuff, and just in certain life experiences, I'm telling you, that's why I am still alive and still living today. And I think God has a reason for me still living today, because I'm still ticking for a reason. So He's got me.